Hey, it's Janae, here to brighten, enlighten, and ignite your day. It's Transformation Tuesday, and I'm here with another edition of The Gist, helping you to get inspired and start your transformation. Today's resource is a book by a friend of mine called Nothing Changes Until You Do by Mike Robbins. And it's not a book that I really enjoy and think it's great because I mentioned on page 5 in the book, actually. It's because it's given me a lot of inspiration and transformation. So just a quick side note, in here he talks about, to really focus on what's important. And one thing that was a big change in his life is when his mother passed away. And we were friends and connecting, and when his mother was at the end stages of her life, I had created something called a joy line, which I now call the appreciation line, and it's all about being able to record messages, appreciation for those who matter most. So I helped him, kind of surprised him, and set this up for his mom so that they could do that. So he just talks about that a little bit in here. So the inspiration for me is this idea about ourselves. So if you notice in the last few weeks I've had this change theme, we can have the techniques, we can understand what keeps us locked or unlocked and resilient that we are, and know that the cheese is moving, right, with all the things I've talked about. But to me, and also what Mike Robbins says, it really, really, really comes down to the heart, to yourself, because nothing truly changes until you do. And I believe until you can change at a heart level and have literally a change of heart, it is going to be so hard to change, to truly change. And so that's kind of what he talks about. There's 40 inspiring essays in this story that get at this idea of that, the relationship that we have with ourselves is one of the hardest relationships. And think about how hard it is to get our own selves to change, let alone thinking we can get other people in our lives to change. That doesn't mean like this, that I can't do our best. We can't do our best to inspire others, but the transformation, the change that has to take place within themselves, and what I believe at the heart level, can only happen with that person when that person is truly, truly ready. So the transformation is this idea of the shift. And I think the best way is to read a little bit from his book that he talks. And this really relates to me well with being an author and just how this shift happens. So it's in the his essay, Nothing Changes Until You Do. So he talks about trying to get his first book published. And here's what he said. The agent, so he's ready to give up at this point. And the agent said, okay, I hear you, but before you do that, there are just 3 more publishers on my list. I will send them out and see if there's any interest. But if you're not interested, I don't know what else to tell me. So she sent me the proposal, and within a few days, she got back. Guess what? They're all interested, and within weeks, I had a contract in place to publish my first book. Now, although I had made some changes, the proposal was essentially the same and had been rejected 25 other times and 7 times within the previous month. There wasn't really anything different with the book idea itself, but something had changed within me. I shifted and was finally ready, which at the deepest level is, I believe, what allowed it to happen. In hindsight, I can see that it might have happened at just the right time when I was actually ready emotionally, mentally, practically, but yet it's when we have that shift, and once I was truly ready. He said, and even though these 5 years were filled with a lot of rejection and doubt, the manifestation of the specific goal was less about the practical things that were involved in making it happen and more about my internal shift and change. Once I was truly ready, it happened. So I don't think we realize how much internally goes on that kind of blocks our ability to transform and change. So hopefully this gives you a chance to think about that and be inspired to go deeper, possibly with this book or other resources that you have, so that you can be ready to truly transform on the inside at a deep, deep heart level. Because, as he said, nothing changes until we do. From my heart to yours, be love.